Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for another Hot Toys review, and this time it will be Nick Fury from the first Avengers movie. Now this is the MMS 169 version, so if you do want to have a little search, we're just going to be taking a very detailed look today at this Nick Fury in particular. This is, again, one of Hot Toys' earlier releases. Not, they've been around 30 years now. Yes, as you can imagine, ones that are this old are no longer being produced, so this will be a second-hand purchase if you do want to get this one today. But the main question is, how well does this figure hold up compared to the modern releases? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. And first off, let's start with the packaging. Again, it's a very simple box design. I wouldn't go over the moon about putting this on display, but it's very nice. The reflective text is a very nice touch. The photo of Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, kind of menacing. But inside, you've got everything very neatly arranged. You got the figure, accessories, interchangeable hands, all packed very securely. But first impressions, it's good. Would I say it's the same as today's level? Probably not. But the figure itself, it does feature Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury in his iconic Avengers look with the black trench coat, tactical outfit, and the eye patch. It's not flashy, but it's recognizable. But one thing I will say when it comes to the clothing is that because it is leather, it does wear and tear very easily compared to a lot of the plastic or other kind of fabrics they use. So yeah, just keep that in mind whenever you do want to make a purchase of some of the older figures that do have leather, as it does tear very, very easily. For the head sculpt, I'd say it's very good. The only thing I will have a little bit of a problem with is how it connects to the neck. Like, you can clearly tell it's a figure. I think a lot of the newer models, the way they blend the neck in with the head works a hell of a lot better. But as far as detail goes, very good skin texture. Wrinkles are fantastic. The paintwork, everything about it is great. It's just the blending in with the neck. Yeah, let's talk about the outfit. Once again, the tailoring is decent, but it is very bulky. So again, just like in our Hawkeye review, the posing can be a bit more difficult. And again, the leather is something I've got a bit of a problem with. But yeah, the articulation is fairly standard. You're not going to be looking at anything remarkable. But you can get him in some decent poses. Very good for displaying. Don't expect to be doing like backflips against Spider-Man or something like that. But it does sort of match his personality, where he is a very stiff character. I wouldn't imagine putting him in many more positions that would look like Nick Fury. So I feel like he can do everything that you'd imagine you'd want to put him in. The accessories, to be fair, there's a bit more than what you'd get with some of the other figures I've had, reviewed, and I keep to this day. So you get an RPG, a pistol, walkie-talkie, weapons belt. Again, I do like the font of the stand. It does stand out very nicely. Compared to deluxe boxes or newer ones, it is still a little bit limited. As it is older, there's not really any special features. It doesn't light up. There's no moving eyes or anything like that, which, again, I wouldn't say that's a deal breaker, but for the price you're going to pay for it, you wouldn't really expect to have any more special features like some of the newer ones. Scale matches perfectly. It does blend in very well compared to some of the other figures you'd have in your collection. 1/6 figures, they're all about 30 centimeters. So again, it does go very well with other Avengers or S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Yeah, I would say the build quality is very good. Again, it's the bulky nature of this figure. The leather coat's a problem, but the plastic, it lasts a very long time. But then also, with all them layers, the articulation becomes a problem. So you've kind of got a bit of a tug and pull for pros and cons in that kind of area. And that does bring me to the next topic, which is the overall pros and cons, which we have discussed already. So let's talk about the cons. The head blending in with the neck, I think it sticks out a little bit too much. I think leather, especially in some of the older designs, doesn't last as well if you want to have it on display. And if you're posing it and moving it about, it will just flake and come off relatively easy. Once one bit's gone, the rest will just follow. It lacks any of like the modern day practices by Hot Toys as well. So what I mean by that is any special features or again the accessories and stuff like that. But the pros, solid build. The face sculpt itself, very nice indeed. It's an iconic Avengers design, and I mean, if you like Nick Fury, that's a pro in itself. But my final verdict, would I say it's worth the money? Because I mean, you're looking at second-hand selling for about 150, 160 pounds. Again, what you got to take into context is Nick Fury one of your favorite characters? Is this going to break the bank? If this is something you can't afford, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you've got, again, disposable income and it's something you enjoy and want to buy, yeah, I mean, I'd say it's a decent price for what you get still. If you are interested, this one in particular that I've reviewed today is on my eBay. So if you would like to have a look, my eBay will be in the description below. You can go and check that out. If there's anything else you need to know, feel free to drop me a message and I'll be more than happy to discuss anything else you need, any more angles, pictures, stuff like that. The only issue I have is with the leather coat where it does flake. But yeah, I'm always reasonable with pricing, just looking to make room to actually add to my favourite collection of all time. Yeah, I'm only selling due to needing to make a little bit of room. I don't have millions in the bank. I'm not like some of the other collectors. I can only really keep like my top 40 to 50 before running out of room. So, you know, if this takes off and I'm able to add to my collection, I'd be more than happy. And I would definitely rebuy Nick Fury. But if you own Nick Fury and you've just come along to see a review and get some validation, let me know what you think below. Was there anything I missed? Was there anything that you'd like to point out? Again, just drop it below. We can have a discussion. But if you don't have Nick Fury and this has interested you, feel free to ask any more questions and I'll be more than happy to oblige. But anyways, thank you for stopping by and we'll see you next time.